First off, Birdie, do you think maybe this movie is a little underrated? Dune 2? Overrated. I should say that.
Underrated.
You think it's overrated? You think it's a lot of people have been talking, oh, best sequel since Empire Strikes Back. It's the next Godfather. Is it that good? Is it like that? I don't know.
One way to find out. Let's find out.
Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys and gals? Welcome to Good Real Hunting. It's time for a movie review. We haven't done one in a while, but we said, what the hell? Let's do it again. The people need more reviews at Good Real Hunting. Let's talk some movies in a short fashion this time. It's going to be crazy. Dune 2 obviously came out. Was it last week? Came out last week?
About 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks now. It's been crazy. We're a little bit late to the party on this. I was a little sick over the weekend. Birdie, we were both busy. We had stuff going on, but we're here.
I had to watch the movie.
Birdie had to watch the movie, but we both seen it now, and it's one of the biggest, most talked about movies of the year so far. Obviously, it's been kind of a slow year getting started, but this came out. Everybody's talking about it. It's one of those spectacle movies, Birdie. Everybody's going to the movies to see this movie on the big screen, Birdie.
Yeah, man, and it accomplishes a good amount of things, but unfortunately, it still has a lot of the same problems, and we'll definitely dive on into that, but be sure to let us know your all's thoughts about Dune Part 2. Did you enjoy the movie? Did you not enjoy the movie? Let us know in that comment section down below, and also, if you want to get a good old reaction, go to the freaking Brad's reel, either on his TikTok or on our YouTube page on our shorts, and he did a out-of-theater reaction for the son of a bitch, and so you can figure out his first reactions to that as well, but now we let it marinate on Brad's end, and we're ready to fully talk about it. But Brad, first question. I saw Napoleon Dynamite's mom over at the sand dunes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, of course. She probably got sucked down by a damn worm and transported to the next station down, because that's what these guys do. I tell you what, yeah, so I'm going to preface everything here by saying that I'm not like a huge fan of Dune. I never was asking for a Dune movie. I never cared for one. I never was like waiting for a Dune movie to come around. Never read the books. Don't have any interest in reading the books. Now, granted, I understand, the importance of the books. It basically inspired Star Wars, and all that. And that's fantastic. That's great. And the world building in this thing is fantastic. It's great. All that stuff is really beautiful. The creativity of building this world from scratch from when the book was created, and now putting that on the big screen in a good way, I think. It's really exciting stuff. I love the way that the world looks. Cinematography here is outstanding. Obviously, it is a great theater experience, Birdie, overall, you think?
Dude, absolutely it is. It is 2024, so there's really no particular reason to not have great cinematography in your film with the technology that we have. But it's really like the pressure of cinematography and what we call the world of the sci-fi. Yeah, it has to be absolutely spectacular. And I will give this movie credit. It is spectacular in the cinematography realm department. And of course, the score absolutely goes hardcore in this as well, just like it did in this first one as well. So both of those with the score and cinematography called me majorly impressed.
Yeah, Hans not Gruber, but Hans Zimmer coming in with another banging score.
The
Hansmeister. I thought it was great, obviously, and all that stuff makes for a really good theatrical experience. You go to the movies. I saw this on my birthday in true IMAX, the biggest screen imaginable, like the biggest screen you could possibly see it on. And that was really cool. It was super loud. The system in there was awesome. All the sound mixing and the music, and it was a really good like theatrical experience. Probably one of the better theatrical experiences that I've had. Definitely this year, because it's probably the first one. But it kind of reminds me of back, seeing Top Gun in theaters. Like it's just you got these big ass monsters and the worms. And all this beautiful scenery and stuff. So it's great for that. I love it. I love it for the spectacle. And here's the thing the problem I had with the first movie, and also the same thing here with the second movie, I don't really have much of an interest to watch it at home when it comes out. I like going to the theater and I see it, and it's cool. The story is not good enough for me to be interested to rewatch it again and again. And more importantly, the characters are not good enough for me to really get into it and really be that much, super vested into it, Birdie.
No, dude, absolutely agree with you, because pretty much the best way I could describe it, the same problem, like the problems I had in Dune Part 1 are pretty much the exact same problems I had with this in Dune Part 2. It's that this movie is extremely way too long. People have told me that Dune Part 2 definitely had a better pacing. Be honest with you, didn't really notice the difference. I felt like it's just everything is going super slow. And in my opinion, I think we have such a great cast, but it's like we shove a good old stick up their butt and they're just acting like this and all that versus letting their personality shine through. Like, I still will give credit to two people in this movie that I think did the best job that they possibly could for what they were allowed to do, and that is the tribal queen herself right now, Florence Pugh. Acknowledge her. I absolutely love her, even though she got held back, you can tell. And then I thought Austin Butler did a good job. He's allowed to show a little bit of personality like Jason Momoa did in part 1, but it still it had its major restrictions with the cast.
Now, here's the thing. I like Zendaya in the movie. I liked her. I like Josh Brolin. Don't get me started on Timothy fucking Chalamet. I don't want to go down.
Dude, I was like, we gotta talk
about it. I hate that motherfucker. He has
because I hate him too.
He has no personality. He's just monotone the whole time. And, in this one, he gets a little excited. He yells a couple times. They probably had to have somebody come in and do a fucking voiceover for his ass.
Hey, I could yell. I could yell like this. Does that make a difference?
It doesn't matter because, here's the thing. Timothy Chalamet aside, the cast is fantastic. And that's the only reason. Now, that's my thing. The only reason that I care for these characters at all is because of the people that are portraying them. It's because of the actors, because of the cast. If you take this cast out and put in a bunch of unknown actors, these characters are some of the most forgettable characters you'll ever. The only reason I remember Zendaya's characters because it's Zendaya. The only reason I like Josh Brolin's characters because it's Josh Brolin. Same thing could be said about Javier Bardem, dude. He's like, now he was kind of fun. I liked him. He was all over Timothy Chalamet's character. He loves it. Timothy Chalamet, anybody could be playing that and probably be doing a better job. Now, Elvis, Aaron Butler, I thought he was good. And then obviously the Baron guy, the fat guy that's like floating and shit. I don't understand. He's decent. Yeah. Now again, they had some great action sequences in this. It did, for me, I think it did have more action than the first movie did. A lot of good, set pieces and stuff. I think some of those scenes kind of came out of nowhere. I thought the editing was a little bit choppy. But back to the characters in general, though, I just didn't find any of the characters, either the villains or the heroes. I don't think any of them have any depth to them at all. They're just like, basically, here's a description of a character that we're going to write into the script. And that's who you have. There's no characteristics about them that stand out. Nobody has any kind of specific characteristics to make them stand out and actually be a true character, a real life character, a character with life, you could say. I didn't get the vibes for any of those. There's nothing that makes you remember any of the characters. And more importantly, there's no conflict for anything. None of the characters have any conflict. It's not like Anakin, who was always kind of torn between the light side and the dark side. It's just like, oh, okay, this guy's got to go out camping for the night so he can prove himself to the freaking Messiah dude that believes in the Messiah stuff. Raiders. And he just comes back, and the next day they're doing their thing. There was no issues. He just went out and did it. That's just one example. The whole movie's like that. Oh, you got to go do this. Okay, cool. Let me go do it. Let me go ride a sandworm because I got to do it with no problems, no conflicts. And that to me just makes a very boring character. There's no character arcs per se. There's nothing where the characters are learning. There's nothing that causes these characters to grow because everything that they have to do, they just do it. They're all Mary Sues. They're all Rey Skywalkers, if you will. I mean, they have no, they have nothing holding them back from being where they want to be. Even Timothy Chalamet, zero conflict when it came time to turn on his girl Zendaya. And he's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to go marry this girl now. He didn't even have to think about it. I know he said at one time, I'll love you till I don't breathe, but that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's
seriously, what the fuck, though? That's why I was in the theaters, I will love you forever. By the way, fuck you. I'm going with this girl. Even though he made the right choice going with Florence Pugh, come on, man, our tribal queen. But that didn't make sense. And that's one of the also complaints I had. And even my buddy Aaron, who I saw the movie with, he even said this. He goes, dude, if you even blink or even sneeze for a second, you're going to get lost in this story completely. And if you're going to give me invested for 2.5 hours on a story, make the story so damn intriguing and easy to understand. Rebecca Ferguson's character, what in the actual fuck was going on with her character throughout the entirety of this movie? I love Rebecca Ferguson, Rose the Hat, come on, Rose the Hat, tip the hat to you. But in this movie, I didn't give a fuck about her, and it's so disappointing.
I thought her character was cool in the movie, but it really all came down, in general, again, it's just a description of her. Here's what she has to go do, and she goes and does it. Again, going back to the time when Javier Bardem's like, all right, dude, you got to go stay the night out on the sand let me know you can handle the desert, and you come back. Oh, by the way, look out for spiders and centipedes and all this stuff that sounds really
Especially
cool and
the small
interesting.
ones.
Yeah, yeah. He mentions all this stuff that sounds really cool and interesting, and that would actually provide conflict for him trying to accomplish this task. We don't
Nothing
see any of it.
happens.
He just goes out there and walks around in the sand for a minute. Next thing you know, he's taking down fucking helicopters and shit. Like, you know, and that action sequence came out of nowhere. But
Yeah, that time split happened randomly, so I didn't even know like how many months it took before like to get from A to B and all that. They could have easily done like 6 minutes later or like 6 months later. Like, come on, man! Like, make it simple for us.
Yeah, I mean that's to me that's the biggest thing. You know, it just I like a good story with, you know, you take out, you know, everybody compares this to Star Wars, and rightfully so. They're very similar. It inspired Star Wars, whatever. But you take those characters, Han, Luke, Leia, Chewie, you take them out of Star Wars, which is a fantastic world, and you put them in any fucking story, and they're going to make it entertaining. If you take these yahoos out of Dune, which is a fantastic epic world, and put them in something else, it's going to be boring as fuck. They're the only.
Well, you're going to get Wonka.
If you put Timothy fucking okay, don't get me started on that motherfucker.
Okay, sorry, we'll do a whole separate video about why you hate him so much. But other than that, though, Brad, did you have like any ever like problems with the film or any other positives?
No, that's really the biggest thing for me. I know I said a lot of negative things. It was still a very enjoyable theater experience. I had a good time. It's not a bad movie. It'll probably be towards the top of my list this year, but I do think it is overhyped at the end of the day. I think it's overrated. I don't think it's the best sequel of all time. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it even deserves to be in the same ballpark as Star Wars or Godfather or anything like that. It's just not even close. Terminator 2, none of the, no. But it is good. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, it is surpassing like a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is a golden reel, 5 out of 5. This is fantastic. It way surpasses the first one. I'm like, well, it did surpass it, but it's not underneath the first one. It's just like almost the same movie, different day. It's just like I was expecting more, but you know what? That's kind of what I get for kind of like a movie. Kind of like you, Brad, like you said at the beginning of this video. I really didn't really ask for this movie, but like it's cool to like witness in the theater, but like in the comforts of your own home, extremely forgettable. And you kind of want to turn it off and watch like a body cam or something like that.
Yeah, something a little exciting, you know, something with some good characters. Anyway, at the end of the day, man, I think I'd probably still give it a 4.5 or a 4 out of 5. Sorry. Just because, you know, the world building is fantastic. It's excellent. It's entertaining, but it's still kind of like a one-time watch for me, at least for several years. I may visit it way down the road. I didn't even watch the first one again before this one came out because the first one was such a bore. But yeah, I mean, you know, I might drop down to 3.5, but I'll probably go with 4 for now because I still had a really good time with it. So 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a fear as well, 4 out of 5. Same one I did with Dune Part 1, gets a fear out of 5. So again, it offered nothing much more. It didn't offer really much less. It's pretty much the exact copy. So if we just do a copy and paste, but just add a little bit more, that's Part 2. That's pretty much all it is to it. So 4 out of 5. So Brad, that is going to be a Dance with Jimbo.
Still check it out. I will say this: check it out in theaters. Still, it's worth going to the theaters and seeing it because it is spectacular to sit there and watch. But just don't get it in your head that this is going to be the best sequel you've ever seen or the best movie like it. And maybe it is for you, and if it is, that's great. But I'm not going to set those expectations for you because it's not close.
Well, I can set the expectations. Like, yeah, you're going to have a good time at the theater, but if you want to have a better time, get that Dune 2 popcorn bucket. That is what we call a very good time. But if you want to continue to have a good time on Good Will Hunting, be sure to let us know what do you think about Dune Part 2? Do you kind of agree with us? It's like, we still like it, but it's just we wanted something more from it. Or do you say, what the hell are you two talking about? We fucking love this movie. Or you'd be like, we fucking hate this movie. Please kindly let us know in the comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can find all of our socials right down there below in the description, right there. Check them out. There's some good stuff going on down there.
Dude, please definitely do. And until then, I got a date with my own Dune 2 popcorn bucket, and I'll just see y'all next time. Extra butter.